Welcome to a special edition of Food Fight today. We are doing cupcakes because it is Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day indeed.
We got 3 of the best cupcake places that we found in New York City.
On this section alone, we have Georgetown Bakery, and this you can get in DC as well. In the middle, you have Buttercup
Bake Shop. Yes.
It's the first time I'm hearing about it, but they have like many locations in New York City.
Okay, so they gotta be good. If you have a bunch of bake shops in New York City, you're probably killing it.
Or you're a front, and this is how you launder your money. And we're gonna find out which one it is.
Laundering in the most delicious way possible.
First, let's introduce the last one, which is Magnolia Bake Shop.
But before we taste the cupcakes, we have to do our eye test. So out of the 3 shops, which one do you think has the best looking cupcakes out of the 3?
The best looking, hands down, the best looking is gonna be Georgetown. Just, the presentation is astounding. But I look at Buttercup and I go, Buttercup looks just delicious. Their cream looks amazing, and then each of their cakes look like they're just gonna be nice and moist.
Why'd you say moist like that?
Because I saw my wife sitting there, and I wanted to see her reaction when I said it that way. Moist.
It is a very uncomfortable word.
I'm going number 1, Buttercup and eye test. Number 2, Magnolia, because these just look so creamy and just delicious. And then Georgetown's my last one.
That's so weird because you said Georgetown was Which one do you think has the best looking cupcakes out of the 3?
The best looking? Hands down, the best looking is going to be Georgetown. Best presentation.
Best presentation. Okay.
For sure.
Best presentation. I do agree that it is the best presentation, and I'm gonna choose this as my number 1 for the eye test because the icing looks amazing. Like, it just looks so pretty. But you do bring up a good point because for the cake, it doesn't look like the cake will be the best because it looks a little dry, to be honest.
It does, doesn't it?
I think Magnolia looks the best for the actual cake part. I'm gonna go with Georgetown Cupcakes, Magnolia, then Buttercup Bake Shop.
In the front row, we have our chocolate on chocolate. So this is a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting.
Classic.
In the middle row, we have our red velvet cakes. Our last row, each of these look different, but it's all vanilla cakes with vanilla cream on top.
We pretty much got 2 of the most classic flavors you can get, chocolate and vanilla, and for Valentine's Day, obviously, red velvet is super popular.
Super popular.
So since we both think that Magnolia is like second place, you wanna start with that?
Let's start with that.
I mean, this cake looks amazing.
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Oh my god.
It's even more chocolatey than I imagined.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna have one more little bite for diabetes.
The cake itself is really good. The icing is amazing.
The icing is spot on. It's flavorful. It's creamy. It's everything you want, and the cake itself is like perfect.
It's not like too soft. It's got like a nice tiny bit of firmness to it. It gives it that rich chocolatey flavor. The icing is not too heavy, which is a great balance for me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this a lot.
What do you give it score-wise?
For this particular one, a 4.5.
Wow. I'm actually gonna give it a very strong. Yeah, I'm agreeing. 4.5 for me too.
It's like really good.
I was gonna give it a 4 to be a contrarian. I'm like, no, John, it's not a 4.5. But I'm like, dude, it's a 4.5.
Yeah, there's very little flaws to it.
I don't know. I'm speechless on how good this truly was. I wasn't expecting it to be this good.
You ate the whole thing. You
the
ate
whole
the
damn thing.
We got a lot more cupcakes to go, man.
All right. Next chocolate one's up. So this is Buttercup Bake Shop.
Buttercup Bake Shop. It's a very nice looking cupcake. The icing doesn't look as impressive as Georgetown's, just because Georgetown's looks like it's made of plastic.
Yeah, it looks like that poop emoji. Like, it looks perfect.
It looks perfect. But let's give it a try.
Let's find out. Oh, it's lighter. But I don't like the flavor of the cake as much. The frosting on top, I have no problems with it. I think the frosting texture is slightly better than Magnolia's.
I'm not a fan of the icing.
Oh, wow.
It has a little bit of a bitterness to it.
Yeah.
It's not as sweet as Magnolia's. The cake itself is nice. But to be honest, with the balance of Magnolia's, I enjoyed a lot more. So for this, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Oh, I'm giving it a 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. I'm going to give it 3.5 because in order to get to the 4 mark, you need flavor, and this just didn't cut it.
Overall, it was decent. I think Magnolia definitely takes the cake for.
I'm just saying, if you're
takes the cake.
Yo, you're so dad mode right now. All right, so this is now Georgetown. This was your number one.
This feels thick. I have a feeling that this might be not as good.
You can feel the heaviness to this one.
Yeah, this feels super dense. The cream looks super thick.
You know what reminds me of like an Entenmann's? Like it's gonna be really fatty. It's fatty and like dry.
All right,
Ready?
let's go.
Ooh, my god. That's thick. Texture alone, he didn't cut it for me.
Icing's way too thick.
It's just thick. You could like literally put bricks on this and build a wall. I'm giving this a very strong 3.5. This had okay flavor. That's why I didn't hit the 4, but the texture of it, if you gave me this, I'm just gonna be looking for milk. And I don't want to eat a cupcake and just think about milk right away. I want to think about how good it is first.
It's a 3.5 for me. I do think that it tastes better than Buttercup. Yeah, the icing just too thick. I really like the cake though. The cake part of it does feel super nice.
So
Basically,
the
it's full
winner
butter.
of chocolate, we could definitively agree, is Magnolia. Magnolia took the cake.
For chocolate. Now I got you saying it.
Damn it. All right, so next up is our red velvets. Because we went from Magnolia to Georgetown, I want to go the opposite way. I want to see how Magnolia holds up when it's the end.
It's a good plan.
Yep.
I agree with that. Actually, the icing doesn't feel as thick as the chocolate, so maybe it'll be better. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, this frosting,
Wow.
compared to the chocolate one, 10 times better.
Oh yeah.
This cupcake in general is fantastic.
Is it like cream cheese?
Yeah, it's a cream cheese base. Oh my god.
Oh, that frosting is so good.
So good.
Oh my goodness, yo. The cake is good too.
The cake is,
the
they're all the
frosting.
same, yeah. The frosting is amazing.
Frosting's
4.5, 4.5.
Frosting is a 5 out of 5 for sure.
This is so good. This is
Yeah.
the best cupcake we've had all day.
That is a goddamn good cupcake. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. I'm just a little hesitant to give it a 5, but I kind of want to give it a 5.
We've had very little 5s on the show.
Very hesitant to give it a 5, but it's right there. But as of right now, I'm gonna be a little bit reserved and say as a 4.5. The icing on this is to perfection. It's
so good. I ate the whole thing. I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand how you didn't eat the whole thing.
We have way more cupcakes to get through.
Like, chop my foot off today, I'll eat like 1,000 of those. It's so good.
All right, so this one is Buttercup Bake Shop. Looks pretty standard.
All right, ready?
Let's do it. Not as good.
No.
There's no cream cheese in that, right?
I don't taste anything.
It's just straight up vanilla
I see.
frosting.
Yeah. So maybe it's because we just had something that's amazing before and then it doesn't stack up, but I don't know. Like, this was like, it just felt very underwhelming.
The frosting on Georgetown Cupcakes was just out of this world.
Out of this world.
I'm still thinking about it.
You know how good it was? We're on the next cupcake and we're still talking about that
the
cupcake.
other one. Just imagine someone gave you the best steak you've ever had, and then you just went down the street at a diner, and
Yeah.
someone gave you like a regular steak. Like it's no comparison in my book. For me, I'm gonna give this a 2.5. I would say average red velvet cupcake.
I'm going 3. I didn't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
I thought it was better than the average.
Let's see how Magnolia can hold up. It's got big shoes to fill.
By the way, this feels heavy, just like how Georgetown felt in the chocolate department.
The icing feels super light though.
Super light, but I think there's just like a lot of it. We'll find out how it tastes though. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
I'm torn. It was 10 times better than Baked Cup, but it wasn't as good as Georgetown. I think the frosting is delicious. It's really good.
The frosting is really good, but I feel like it could have a little bit more flavor to it.
I think it's lacking depth. And I
Right?
think Georgetown proved that with their cream cheese based frosting, that this one, it's a lot of frosting. It tastes so good and so light, but once you have Georgetown, you can say, oh, there's something definitely missing with this one.
What would you give it out of 5?
To be honest, I'll give it a 3.5.
I'm gonna give it 3.5 as well. It's a good cupcake. It's just the frosting definitely lacks a little something.
We're on the last one, so maybe Buttercup could win this one. So let's start with Buttercup.
Let's start with Buttercup.
Vanilla
I
on
mean,
vanilla.
it is definitely keeping with the Valentine's theme with
Yep.
pink, right?
I mean, I think they knew. They just knew. We were doing it for Valentine's Day.
All right, ready?
Ready. This is like a promising cupcake, but I wouldn't say it's a 4 yet. I would say it's a 3.5. It hit all the basic necessities, But I feel like from what everything else we had, you could always up your game.
I think the cake is very buttery. The icing is where I have the problem with because the icing tastes a little bit fake. It tastes very manufactured.
It's a container icing.
And I'm not really a big fan of sprinkles either.
Why do you ever get sprinkles?
It's just better without it.
It's just a confection.
I understand the presentation of it, but in terms of flavor, sprinkles are not that great.
It's just colored sugar.
Yeah, but it's all about texture too.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It gives it, I guess, I don't know, maybe if you like the extra little crunchy
I like
texture.
the extra little crunch, yeah.
But the presentation's great.
No, it's wonderful.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. All
Wow,
right.
3.5, big score.
No, yeah, I really like the cake part of it. The cake part is great.
All right, this is Magnolia.
Yep. They got sprinkles on it too.
Of course, it's
My
amazing.
favorite sprinkles.
All
You
the
see
other
how
frosting.
pale that cake is?
Yep.
It's super pale.
Want to take a bite and
very
find out
white.
what it means?
Yeah.
I don't like the frosting. I don't like thick frosting. The cake itself doesn't compare to butter cake in this one.
I like the frosting more than buttercup, cake cup.
Yep, butter cake
Cake cup. Not feeling the cake. It's dry. It tastes like it's just kind of like falling apart. There's like no flavor in this cake.
I think Buttercup is slightly better.
That's shocking.
And to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Buttercup, but I did enjoy it. I just think that this cake is like a 2.5 for me.
It tastes like bad angel cake or something like that. And the cake, to me, is the most important part. It's 80% of the cupcake. I'm gonna give it a 2. 2 out of 5.
Wow.
A little below average. It's just
The Georgetown's chocolate was terrible, but their red velvet was amazing.
totally redeemed themselves with the red velvet.
And now we're on the last one. Let's figure out how good this one is.
That's cute. They got a little snowflake on there, a little pink snowflake.
Okay.
Do you want the snowflake?
No, it's all you. You commented on that. That's all you.
This is just a giant sprinkle in my eyes.
Okay.
All right, Georgetown Cupcakes. We already took
We took a bite of it because we got cut off.
We just had a bite of the Georgetown Cupcake, so we're gonna have to try it again.
Okay, this has been a very sugary day, and I think I have diabetes. And this is not helping, but... Like I said, in the last video that I wasn't recording, I love the cream cheese flavor of their frosting. It's amazing.
I don't know if it's different from the red velvet, but it felt a little much. I still enjoy the flavor like crazy. The cake itself, pretty good as well. I don't really have too many complaints about the cake.
Give me a 4 though.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4. A very solid 4.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give it a 4 as well. It's just this icing, Georgetown Cupcakes. Whoever created this icing,
Genius.
Genius deserves a promotion. It is absolutely delicious.
Ask them to make it fluffier though. I don't like the thickness. It's like you got the flavor down. Now just get the texture down. Make it fluffy. Make it nice and light, and bam, you out of here.
I was very, very surprised by all of the results today. When I was coming into this, I thought that one company was just better than the other. We first had Magnolia. I was like, oh, Magnolia is gonna take the cake for all take the cake.
Just look at the way you face. You kept saying cake. Take the cake for all the cake.
Once we had Magnolia, I was like, all right, it's just gonna beat everyone else. And that just totally was not the case. Every one of them was different. It was unique. Yeah, it really depends on what flavor you're getting at what place.
This has been another episode of Food Fun.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. And today we found out you really need to do your research when it comes to cupcakes.
To be honest, just don't buy a regular variety assortment. Try the cupcakes because they're all vastly different.
Well, since you watch this episode and you're in New York City, just go to all 3 of them and get the best one from each one.
Oh yeah,
and then show them this video. And then just be like, this is how much I love you. I ran all over New York City to get 3 cupcakes.
Or don't show them the video, just say you did that because she doesn't want to see where you got the idea from.
Share, like, subscribe. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
This is good. By the way, I got a question.
What's up?
What do you need to launder your money for? You had that joke in the beginning, and I really needed to know.
What joke?
Because I said this could be really good, or they could just be a front for laundering.
I said
money.
if I ever have to launder money.
I don't know. That if sounded really. So I want to know what you need to launder for. Make our money illegally.
Well, I plan on making a lot of money in the future. And I'm just thinking ahead, all right?
That's fair.